Welcome to 30-Second Chances, where we ask deep, contemplative questions and provide far too little time to formulate thoughtful, reflective answers. My guest today is composer, musician, producer, Jeff Fair. Jeff, how the hell are you?
I'm great. How the hell are you?
Oh, just ducky, man. Doesn't get any better. I'm living the dream. All right. You know the drill, 30 seconds on the clock, and then on to the next question. Are you ready?
Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
All right.
Wait.
Question number one. Describe your job to a 5-year-old.
Oh. I have one of these and I take it. It's like a net. It catches sound. And see how it's all got this thing here like this? Except what's really cool is I don't have to chase the sound. The sound comes to it, and then it goes into my computer. And then I take those sounds and I put them together into music.
You have just been responsible for traumatizing at least one 5-year-old. Just want you to know. All right.
Not all shaped like this.
Next question. Ben and Jerry have just named a new flavor for you. What's it called and what's in it?
Wow, that's a good question. Pesto?
Ew.
No, maybe pesto cherry. It's a cherry pesto. It's ground up cherries, no garlic, but maybe some ground up cherries and nuts with some Ben and Jerry's vanilla-ish ice cream. They probably have that already.
There's nothing I can add.
Okay.
Next question. What song or album do you wish you could listen to again for the first time and why?
Wow, there's so many great albums. Um, well, there's the obvious ones like Sergeant Pepper and Dark Side of the Moon and Who's Next, stuff like that. But I'd have to say Chicago at Carnegie Hall.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to hear it remixed, but
All right, next question. What's the first piece of gear you bought where you felt like shit just got real?
a couple of them. Actually, the first one was, the biggest one I think was Star's piano, where we bought that piano, and it was a Steinway B, and she got very real very quickly. And I remember the guy who sold it to us telling us the story of a famous composer who bought another piano from him, and as he was writing the check, he said, "Excuse me, I've got to go use your bathroom and vomit." So.
All right, next question. If authors did cover versions of books the way musicians do covers of songs, whose version of what book would you be most interested in reading?
If authors did cover versions of books. You mean not their own books?
Right.
Wow. That's a really good question. I'd like to see. I'd like to read Tom Robbins' The People's History of the United States. That would be funny.
That would be hilarious. Yes. All right. Next question. What's the worst thing you've ever said to a boss or a client without thinking?
I knew you might ask that question. Leave the room. I'm going to throw a chair.
It sounds like a lovely relationship was already in progress.
It was near the end of the relationship, and it really wasn't about it was about there's a couple kind of times that kind of thing happened. And one was about a 24-track, a 2-inch tape machine not syncing up while there was an orchestra across town waiting for us to get there. It was an expensive day. expensive
Yeah,
things.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Next question. You're a burglar who only steals things that minorly inconvenience people. What three items will you take?
Well, what three items? Um, Deodorant, toothpaste, and spoons.
Wow. Okay. Um, not sure where the spoons part came from, but everything else seems like it would definitely inconvenience everyone around them. Mm.
Yeah, but the spoons, you only got a fork and a knife then and chopsticks. So what are you going to do?
Oh man, yeah. How you gonna eat soup? I understand. All right, that concludes our regularly scheduled questions. I'm now going to put 30 seconds more on the clock and allow you to either answer for me a question you wish I had asked, shamelessly plug or pontificate something, ask me a question, whatever you like. 30 seconds, it's all yours. Go.
Okay. Sometimes I think I've heard you ask about practical jokes, I think before, or been
Mm.
part of it.
Mhm.
I've never, I'm not one to pull pranks, and I haven't had many pulled on me, maybe a couple, but I have seen some really great pranks. And one was a neighbor of ours in our old house. One neighbor was having his house built. The other one was having a problem with parking because the person would put stuff in front of their house and they couldn't park anymore. And this guy was a really famous actor. But what he did was he went out one night and there was a pallet of 2x4s. He and his buddy glued all the 2x4s together so that the guy that was building the house couldn't pull it out of
Oh,
the pallet. I
oh,
thought that was the most incredible prank I've ever seen.
yes, yes, definitely. Well done. And I'm sure that person doesn't want any credit for it, but whoever they were, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
Jeff Fair, thank you for being my guest.
my pleasure.